Et salut à tous, c'est Captain et je suis ravi de vous retrouver pour un nouvel épisode sur The Council. On est au 10e épisode de cette série qui devrait marquer un nouveau tournant dans le jeu, puisque cette fois-ci nous sommes au courant, enfin nous savons que nous sommes un démon, spoiler alert si vous n'avez pas vu la fin de l'épisode précédent. Et on va confronter notre mère pour savoir pourquoi elle nous a caché ça. Let's go! Première fois qu'on sort de ce côté-là, on connaît pas du tout cet endroit, on est d'accord? Non, on connaît pas du tout cet endroit-là. Ça amène vers quoi? Vers les labyrinthes, vous pensez? Enfin, vers le labyrinthe, plutôt. C'est étrange. Je sais plus si lors du premier épisode on est arrivé par là. Ah, fait chier. Je peux monter, cela dit? Non, je peux plus monter. Mais pas de... C'est bien ces portes là. Ah, hop.
A Chinese coin, recognizable by the hole in the middle. If I remember rightly, that's called a cash.
Un autre à récupérer. Let's fucking go. Ouais, je pense que je vais lire dans ses pensées le plus tôt possible. On va peut-être aller par là. Pourquoi, en fait, on a une réponse, pourquoi elle s'occupait de... Enfin, elle était concentrée sur le canon. Sur les poudres à canon. Qu'est-ce qu'elle voulait faire avec? Je me demande si elle voulait pas faire péter la porte, peut-être. Parce que je suis pas sûr qu'on ait une réponse sur ça. Le début du jeu me paraît tellement loin. Mais c'est une bonne chose, attention. Je dis pas... C'est vraiment... Enfin, quand un jeu vous fait revenir en arrière et que vous dites « Putain, il s'est passé tant de choses depuis que je suis venu ici », c'est toujours cet aspect nostalgique où vous dites « Putain, et... » Justement, c'était la bonne époque où je pensais pas qu'on allait arriver jusque là. Ah, il y a Emily qui est là également.
Oh no! No, Mother!
Louis, it was an accident, I'm sorry.
Ah.
I didn't have a choice. She attacked me.
Voilà, what the fuck.
I didn't want to hurt her.
What happened?
I was on the wharf. It was dark. She seemed to be preparing to depart. I moved closer. I wanted us to talk, but as soon as she saw me, she threatened me. I wanted her to explain to me in her own words what had happened to Emma. I had to know what happened, Louis. You understand that, don't you? Is it really for him that you left me, Emily? That's pathetic. Look, he still doesn't get it for crying out loud.
Ok, donc j'ai tué Emily. Fuck.
Emma? Oh, the bitch. Bitch.
What? Louis, what's wrong with you?
No, you are not Emily.
Ah, that. It took you long enough to figure it out, though. Oh, I felt sorry for you when I saw you couldn't even recognize her, Louis. What do you expect? It wasn't my fault. Yes, you spent a night with her, but she can't have made much of an impression on you. Oh, men.
Shut it.
Was it perhaps that night we spent together after the conference that persuaded you that I was worth more than her?
What?
Oh, you still don't get it. The night of the conference? It wasn't poor Emily who paid you a little visit in your room. Oh, she was much too busy with Monsieur Bonaparte.
No, that's not true.
It was me, of course. I assure you, you got something a whole lot better. And when I think she wasn't even armed when I arrived. Right. Take a moment to think and meet me at the manor later.
You're crazy.
Now, Louis, don't push it. I understand your grief, but I won't put up with that sort of talk from you or anybody.
Crève là. Quand même pas. Ah, quoique je suis un démon. Hein.
But you've lost your mind.
That's enough. That's not how you talk to a lady.
J'ai pas envie de tuer comme ça non plus. Enfin.
I'd like to be alone, madam.
That's all right. I'd rather that too. See you later, Louis.
en larmes, peut-être, non? Ah, j'ai loupé tellement de trucs du coup. What the... Est-ce que du coup je peux m'entraîner sur mon aspect démoniaque? Ce serait cool. Mais je vais d'abord devenir ninja. À fond. Partir dessus. Ah, fait chier par contre du coup je me suis planté avec Emma. Ah, je peux rien dire pour le coup.
Rational and open. I spent my whole life swimming in lies. Emily, what a waste. I feel like I know nothing. That I have to learn everything all over again. I'm a demon. I age more slowly. I can mentally manipulate people. I don't even know if it's a good thing or a curse. No, this is an advantage. I can get used to this pretty quickly, I think. Damn it, what a mess. Come on, man up, Louis. I'm still the same old me. Demon or not, I'm still in charge of my actions. And this father, I know nothing about. Yes, I've still got a lot to learn. It's enough to drive you crazy. Everything I believed in, nothing holds true anymore. Pull yourself together, man. I need to find some answers.
Le perso perd vraiment tous ses repères du coup.
Being alone for a minute?
Le perso a vraiment perdu tous ses repères. Imaginez à sa place, votre principal repère c'était votre mère, qui du coup, vous partez la retrouver sur une île, donc vous ne connaissez rien, donc vous ne connaissez personne. Vous découvrez elle a un passé qui est pas qui est très trouble, notamment avec ce qu'elle a fait avec Elizabeth Adams. Vous la retrouvez, elle est un peu folle, et elle vous dit il y a des démons. Donc du coup, toute la réalité en laquelle vous croyez, elle s'effondre. Après, il y a il y a votre père qui arrive et qui vous dit salut, je suis ton père, en fait, je suis un démon, t'es un démon aussi du coup. Et la seule personne qui était donc votre dernier repère meurt quasiment sous vos yeux. Donc sa mère qui meurt quasiment sous ses yeux. Sa compagne, entre guillemets, vous l'avez tuée. Et du coup, c'est sa sœur jumelle qui vous a manipulé. Et vous avez perdu votre main. Welcome. Est-ce qu'on a mis des choses dans ma chambre? Ça aurait été sympa. Par contre, on m'a bien berné, effectivement. Emily, c'est bien foutu de ma gueule.
Golden elixir.
Enfin, Emily, oui, si, remarquez, oui, Emily, c'était bien foutu de nous. Parce que, en fait... Ah non, en fait, c'était Emma, du coup. Attendez. Faudrait que je revoie le jeu, mais... Enfin non, remarquez, Emily, c'était quand même foutu de notre gueule parce qu'elle nous avait dit qu'elle avait pas vu... Mais, mon perso fait des trucs bizarres. Quoique non, en fait... c'est logique, du coup, depuis le début, quand Emily, en fait, celle qu'on pensait être Emily nous disait Emma a disparu, je la recherche, en fait, c'était Emma qui nous disait ça.
Sir Gregory?
Good day, Louis. I think it would be good to talk. How are you feeling?
I don't know.
I understand. I heard that William spoke to you at last about our nature and our family. It's a good thing, but you must be a bit shaken up.
Tu fais peur.
That's the least you can say.
I bid you welcome among us, Louis. Knowing William, he probably didn't go into any detail about our family, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
How long has our family been in existence?
We have been here since the very beginning.
What do you mean, exactly?
Are you trying to get information from me?
No, not at all. I was just wondering why that particular question seemed to disturb you.
Let us not insist, then. You yourself weren't very convinced by the question, it seems.
T'es con ou quoi? Tu me dis, vas-y, t'es peut-être chamboulé, pose-moi toutes les questions que tu veux. Depuis qu'on existe? Non, mais tu vas pas me poser cette question. Je sais pas.
How many of us are there in the family?
We are 8 brothers and sisters.
What do you mean by brothers and sisters if we can change bodies?
You reason with logic. We have retained the human habit. When we first come into this world, we retain a certain attachment to our first envelope. If we are born as a man, we are brothers. If we are born as a woman, we are sisters. But I must admit, it has absolutely no real importance. They're just bodies.
Well, tell me then, are there any other families like ours?
There are officially 7, but we're the oldest and therefore the most powerful.
What's Lord Mortimer's problem?
I think he allows himself to be devoured by a need for recognition.
Has he always been like that?
More or less, but thinking about it, I believe that the birth of our latest sibling greatly accentuated his discomfort.
Do you think he's jealous?
I didn't realize you were so good at behavioral analysis. Indeed, William certainly is prone to jealousy. Finding one's place, notably in the eyes of our father, is not easy, and we each do what we can to succeed. But I can't justify this perpetual rebellion against our rules.
Is there a head of the family?
You'll see. You'll meet them all, of course, when you are ready. They created us and set out the rules, especially our father. As for our mother, she retired from the political stage. We don't see her much anymore. I think that all these questions simply bore her.
I see. There is still much to learn.
Yes, it's true. You've got some catching up to do, my boy. One thing you must understand regarding any disagreements that might arise between William and myself is his position with regard to mankind.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries we've been trying to help and therefore preserve humanity. Monarchies are simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently, and I can't understand why William wants to replace them with democracy.
But if your intention is not to dominate the human race, why not let them be master of their own destinies?
I perfectly understand this type of reaction from you, less from William. The main thing you're lacking is time. Man is transient, and one of his particularities is that he does not learn from the errors of his peers. He uses up an incredible amount of energy building and destroying whatever he himself has put into place. If we weren't here to help them, guide them, I sincerely believe that humanity would have become extinct by now. We are eternal, Louis. When we plan ahead, we do it for the long term.
Yes, I understand, but that's more like tyranny, isn't it?
Well, it's all a question of your point of view. From man's point of view, I can understand how he would have that impression if ever he found out. But don't forget your true nature. From the demon's point of view, in other words, ours, letting man do as he thinks fit would equate to letting him race to his own demise.
But what about man's freedom to choose?
That is man's worst enemy, Louis. Imagine a creature that dies without reaching the age of adulthood. It remains a child. We have to help him, otherwise he will put himself in danger. It has taken centuries for our family to establish relative peace between demons. Thanks to this policy, we have been able to decide everything by confining the other families to subordinate roles. And now William is obsessed with disrupting everything.
Peace between demons? What do you mean?
I'm not talking about conflicts within our family. If that was all there was, everything would be fine. But several other families, younger but nonetheless powerful, are trying to upset the balance. At present, we dominate most of the major countries around the globe. But some families are pushing, via less influential countries, to gain ground. Do you understand?
As best I can, yes.
When the time comes, you must take up a position on the political chessboard. I only hope your father doesn't take you down with him.
Are you suggesting he might be in danger?
Well, Louis, our father's patience is not limitless. If William ever does go too far, then yes, he will be in danger. I want you to make an informed choice. Now go and see your father, see what he has to say, and then think it over very carefully.
That's exactly what I intended to do. Thank you, Uncle.
Don't mention it. If I've been able to help you in any way, go now.
Du coup, une question que... ouais. D'accord. Une question qui m'importe. Enfin, qui me... Pas m'obsède, mais qui me chafouine, si je puis dire. Ok, je peux vraiment pas faire... Mais what? Mon perso fait des trucs bizarres. Il parle d'autres familles, donc... Donc, ça voudrait dire... Je vais faire échapper dès que je peux, parce que j'ai pas envie de... J'ai envie que mon raisonnement arrive au bout. Ça voudrait dire que... On est d'accord que le père de la famille, donc le créateur de la famille, c'est Dieu. C'est ce qu'on appellerait Dieu, en tout cas. Et, enfin, Dieu et sa compagne. Enfin, bon, bref. Du coup, les autres familles, c'est qui? Qu'est-ce qui les a créés? Est-ce qu'ils parlent d'autres univers? Apparemment, non. Donc ça veut dire qu'il y a plusieurs dieux? Est-ce que du coup, ça serait l'Olympe qui serait vraiment représenté?
We have to talk.
I was just wondering.
Oh, what's she smiling for?
Right. I shall begin. It's going to be an awful lot for you to take in on just one day, but I must tell you that I'm a demon too.
Excuse me?
I know that you are too. Gregory told me everything during my convalescence. And that isn't all. I'm also Mortimer's daughter. You understand what that means, I hope. That's right. I am a demon too. And I am your sister. And we also slept together. But don't be too hard on yourself. It's a bit unnatural when you think about it, but then you couldn't know. This way at least, everything stays in the family. It's for the best. It mustn't prevent us from living out our affair in the open, however.
Our affair? Have you lost your mind?
I'm far too soft on you. I'll let you have everything, of course. So don't be nasty, if you don't mind.
She's not all there. It's plain to see.
Yes, true. It's been a long day.
Yes. You ought to get some rest. You can sleep there. You know that, right? Although, thinking about it, best remain discreet for the time being. We shall go see Father later and tell him everything. Of course, he'll be disappointed because he bet it would be Emily, I think.
Whoa. She is completely mad.
But I think he will be proud of me when all is said and done.
She's talking to herself. She can't even see me.
He loves me. Oh, he loves me not. Yes, we'll have to tell Father all about this. But I don't want to live on this island. It's too cold.
There's no point in insisting anymore.
I'm going, Emma.
Yes, I'll see you later. La 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 Louis. La la la.
Est-ce qu'elle est vraiment un démon? J'y crois pas trop. Je pense que c'est une humaine qui est en train de péter un câble. Vraiment. Je pense que c'est ça le truc. Je pense sincèrement que c'est une humaine qui est en train de péter un câble. Pourquoi je pourrais rentrer dans chez Jacques Perrault et je peux pas chez les autres? Qu'est-ce que je peux y trouver qui me... Pourquoi pas?
Dear Monsieur Perru, I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Ninja?
Great, honey.
Pourquoi je peux aller chez lui et je peux pas aller chez les autres?
Dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris. A boat will be waiting for...
Tantagel. Oui, j'allais dire. Du coup, je suis sûr qu'il y a une histoire avec le roi Arthur ou quelque chose comme ça, peut-être. Merlin. Peut-être qu'ils les ont connus, remarquez. Donc le démon dont parlait Jacques Perrault, c'était vrai au final. Donc lui, il savait probablement que c'était le démon. jeu lag quand même assez sévèrement. Est-ce que je peux descendre? Ah, fuck, chier, je peux descendre, c'est-à-dire qu'il y a des choses à faire en bas. Je crois qu'il les faire, j'ai envie d'avancer dans l'histoire.
Pardon me, monsieur, but I have work to do.
Ah, Washington.
Louis, busy as always, I see. How lucky you are. I must admit I'm trying to kill the boredom myself.
I get the impression we're all in the same boat.
And here I was thinking you might have some juicy gossip.
Me? No, nothing at all. And you?
I would like to be able to say yes, but it's been dead quiet. The only one with anything to say is Duke Manuel. But with that accent of his, I don't understand a word he says. It's exasperating.
Right. I've wasted enough time. I'll keep our conversation to myself, Mr. President. Anyway, I must be going now.
See you later, Louis.
Oula, 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 le jeu, calme-toi, tout va bien se passer. Je rush probablement la fin de l'histoire, c'est là où, à mon avis, je dois louper des trucs. Alors... J'ai toujours la lance sur moi, non? Je pense que je vais devoir l'utiliser sur soit Mortimer, soit Holm, soit le père peut-être, soit sur moi-même. Ça va être une de ces possibilités-là.
Louis, I was sure you would stay. I'm proud of you.
Mais je peux le choix, mais...
You've made the right choice. You must have been disappointed not to have been able to speak to Sarah one last time. I would have liked her to tell you herself.
Well, I guess I'll never know now.
True. Even so, there is one more thing I haven't told you about her. Sarah was my daughter.
What? But why didn't you tell me the truth about her?
I thought that might be too many truths to absorb at one time. I intended to tell you afterwards. You were in a hurry, so I made a decision. You've been able to understand and choose for yourself. How do you feel?
Hard to say. Quite curious to find out more. My whole way of thinking has been blown apart in just a couple hours.
What could be more normal? It may have been a bit brutal, but you've just grown up in a very short space of time. From now on, you can influence your own future. I will guide you. We've all the time we need.
You're not the first to make me that offer.
What do you mean by that?
Your brother, Sir Gregory.
Gregory. Why am I not even surprised? What did he say?
Conviction, science.
I think he's worried about you.
Worried? Marvelous. That's just like him. You know, in a family like ours, we all have a role to play, and his is to worry about everyone else. Let me reassure you, there's no reason for him to worry about me.
Like the relationship with your father, for example.
It's sometimes complicated, I must admit. I like to understand things, even if it means thinking outside the box. In fact, that's a character trait that you seem to have inherited.
You haven't answered about your father.
What did I tell you? You are too curious, my son. Let time do its work. I don't impose anything on anyone. I'm just following my own path.
But where does it lead?
I suppose I should explain. For centuries now, demons have emerged in and around great leaders all over the world. But like true tyrants, they have governed with an iron fist in a studded glove.
That's the impression I get.
But you see, people's discontent is increasing, and they are too high up to hear it. They take themselves for gods. Sooner or later, the people will turn against us, just as they have in the past. Each time it's happened, many of us have died. We must master the humans, yes, but gently. And the best way of doing that is by allowing them a free choice, Louis.
You really are trying to liberate men.
Of course, not entirely, no. It is easier to keep control over people who slumber than people who are oppressed. A man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. Whereas, if you give him a roof, food, and entertainment, he will do whatever you want. The best way of getting them to achieve something is to make them think it was their idea. For that, they have to feel as if they are free.
Hang on. What do you mean?
Look at the United States. From the start, I introduced an idea that will change everything. The idea that everything is possible. Everyone can become someone. Is there anything more beautiful?
You mean it's not true?
Man can move mountains when he believes it is in his own interest. And what nobler cause is there than his own freedom?
Mais en vrai, enfin, je trouve que là, le jeu, il a un double discours qui est vraiment intéressant pour le coup.
Do you have any more examples?
Of course.
Talk to me about slavery.
Well, take the slave trade, for example. It's an archaic practice that simply has to stop. Today, black slaves of America work for free and in unbearable conditions. Tomorrow, if you free the blacks and offer them work along with a salary, they will bless you for it. Then, they will be integrated into the system. They will be taxable. Once they are free, they will have to work for a roof, pay taxes, and feed their families. Maybe we could take away the civil rights of prisoners, for example. In this way, we'll keep control of all those who respect the system and benefit from the others as workforce.
And what would you propose for women?
They must be given the right to work and to vote. Look, at the moment, they don't work. They take care of raising children. What a mistake. We have to get them out of the house. Make them work. In this way, not only will they become consumers, but they will also delegate the job of education to the system. We could guide humanity from a young age, Louis, don't you see? Today, we are wasting too much time. What obscurantism! By harping on this concept of good and evil, guilt and redemption, look where men are now, locked up in beliefs that should no longer exist. It's time for men to rediscover themselves and to take control of their lives, as they really are, without any moral judgment.
C'est fou parce que là, pour le coup, le jeu pose vraiment des questions vraiment philosophiques en fait, je trouve. Et c'est des questions que enfin, récemment, je me pose beaucoup. C'est-à-dire que si le paradigme religieux qu'on nous enseigne en fait quasiment depuis tout petit, c'est-à-dire bien mal, une mauvaise action va être punie. Si c'est pas sur Terre, ça sera puni après notre mort. Si on n'avait pas été éduqué par ça, comment est-ce qu'on vivrait ? Est-ce qu'on serait capable de vivre ? Est-ce que notre société tiendrait ? Je pense que non, déjà, parce que du coup, ça veut dire que probablement le principe de la justice n'existerait pas, en tout cas n'existerait pas comme il est. Mais est-ce que du coup, on ne se serait pas créé notre société ? Enfin, c'est toujours des questions vraiment intéressantes. Et au final, on peut se dire que, enfin, même dans les temps anciens, avant que l'apparition de la religion chrétienne apparaisse, enfin, oui, apparaisse. Je crois que est-ce que les Juifs, ils ont un paradis aussi ? Paradis, enfer, je crois que oui. Oui, c'est même sûr. Mais même les Grecs anciens, il me semble qu'ils avaient une sorte de... Enfin, ils avaient paradis, enfer. Est-ce qu'ils avaient un paradis ? Ils avaient un enfer, c'est sûr. Enfin, c'était les enfers, mais je crois pas qu'on y allait parce qu'on était forcément mauvais, mais plus parce qu'on avait des regrets, ou parce qu'on était enfermé par des dieux. Mais c'est vraiment des questions qui m'intéressent, et je trouve que effectivement, du coup, Mortimer est vraiment le progressiste absolu. C'est-à-dire que, genre, en 1791, là, c'est ça, il touche déjà, enfin, il parle déjà de sujets qui ont encore le pire, c'est qu'ils ont encore leur place aujourd'hui, quoi. Enfin, leur place, non, ils devraient plus avoir leur place, mais qui font encore parler aujourd'hui, quoi. Quand vous voyez qu'il y a des gens qui sont encore contre le travail des femmes, ou contre le fait que les femmes doivent faire au final les mêmes travaux, les mêmes travails, d'avoir accès aux mêmes travaux que les hommes, plutôt. Que quand on voit aux États-Unis le traitement des Noirs, etc., qu'il y a une sorte de deuxième vague de gens aux États-Unis qui sont, enfin, le soulèvement à nouveau des drapeaux de la Confédération, enfin, je sais pas comment on pourrait dire ça en français, mais le Confederate flag qui est brandi un peu partout, et oh non, dans la boule un héros du sud. Enfin, c'est vraiment des trucs des temps anciens et ça revient au goût du jour, mais c'est fou en fait. C'est fou. Et je trouve que c'est bien que le jeu ose aborder ces sujets et vraiment les aborde de façon directe. C'est pas en mode où un petit peu. Voilà.
Tell me what you think about progress.
Progress is essential, Louis. It's the future.
What else?
Progress must liberate humanity from burdensome chores. Progress must replace man. Whatever his presence is not obligatory. It creates both the desire and the need. It will liberate women as soon as the machines are able to do all the chores in the home automatically. It will bring men together by bringing a faster means of locomotion. Look at the cultural revolution that printing brought about. But the most important of all has already been laid. The foundation stone.
Démocratie.
Freedom of speech. The First Amendment of the Constitution. There must be opponents to every project. So, above all, don't develop a one-track approach. Otherwise, man won't have enough room for expression to feel free. If man sees his chains, he will only want to break them. If we give men the feeling that they are free, I am convinced that they will exceed their limits. And it is only from that condition that humanity shall rise up.
But do you want to dominate or raise humanity higher?
I want it to advance. I want it to progress. Man is our vessel. If he progresses, then so do we. Wouldn't you like to know what we really are?
Who do you mean? Demons?
Yes, us. Our species. I've been searching for centuries, trying to find a way to explain the reason of our existence. But humanity has not yet evolved enough to make any progress on the subject. I am convinced that the sciences will bring that knowledge someday.
So, that's your objective, is it? To understand who we are. I see your point.
Our family clings to its privileges and to the past, and that's how they are putting us in danger. The time has come for change. Now that you know your true nature, there are still a few things I need to teach you.
What do you mean exactly?
A new skill, and not the least, Louis. It's about taking control of a person.
I don't see how I could do that.
I shall help you the first time.
How do you do it?
It's an animal resonance. How it works is still a bit unclear even to us.
Like a wave or a sound?
That seems the most likely, yes. In my opinion, demons are capable of tuning their psychic frequency to that of others. That is why, for example, I tend to surround myself with deaf and dumb servants. The servants dressed in black. I infiltrated them. I opened a channel between them and me, and then I deprived them of speech and hearing. This way, no other demon can turn them against me.
Okay, let's not waste any more time.
I deduce that you're impatient to master what's in store for you. That is good. I thought I'd mix business with pleasure for this first time.
What do you mean by that?
The conference will come to a close shortly, as you know. Not that I'm fed up with archaic diplomacy, but it's time to ensure the success of this project. To make this happen, I would like Piaget to inform the Pope he has changed sides. Here is my plan. I would like you to join His Eminence in his room.
Just play along. We'll see when the time comes. Very well. And then?
You're going to have to trust me. What we're going to do is painless for the human you are going to invade.
Invade?
Yes. You're going to enter his mind and take control. You're going to influence his actions and his psyche. Make him speak, then concentrate. You must focus on him in order to feel his thoughts. Then, while speaking, you must link with him. Once you're done, you will naturally find your way to the source and enter into his thoughts.
But what if I fail?
Trust in your instincts. You just have to let yourself go. You have the skill. Let your nature come to the fore. You'll see. If you fail, you'll be in for some light banter with His Eminence. That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Very well.
Perfect. Go now. The Cardinal is in his room. You will have to write a letter to the Pope as if Piaggi had written it himself. In this letter, tell the Pope that whatever happens during the conference, he must follow my propositions. But be careful. In order to protect himself from counterfeiters, the Pope had Piaggi's hand tattooed with a symbol to be sure of his identity. You'll see when you're inside him. You'll understand. Once it's written up, just bring it back to me and I'll send it off immediately.
All right, I'll take care of it.
Bien, allons-y. Ce qui est un peu contre nature, pas du démon, mais du coloc. Il a dit que les démons ne veulent, enfin dans l'épisode précédent, il a dit que les démons ne devaient pas se influencer dans le coloc. Là, c'est clairement ce qu'on va faire. Donc, on va voir.
Why is this study in such a mess? Looks like Volner's planning something.
Ah, récupère ça. Quoi? C'est pas de la gelée? Shit.
What a mess. Looks like Volner was interrupted.
Il n'y a pas quelque chose au sol? Ah, si,
Look, a blotter. And apparently it's been used recently. I wonder what Volner was going to write. It's smudged. It's not all legible. I can make out the signature though and leave as if planned It's illegible. Let's see if I can find a solution in Volner's things here. Given his interest in alchemy, I wouldn't be surprised if I found something that revealed what's written somewhere in his room. Golden elixir.
Alors, faut vraiment que je... Ouais. Alors, on va s'en occuper. Hein. Je pense que ça retarde un peu la suite du jeu, mais c'est pas grave, on va se démerder.
Chemistry set. That's not surprising coming from von Volner. I should find something to help reveal the traces of ink on the blotter.
Ça coûte 4, c'est beaucoup quand même.
I think I read somewhere that lime water was used on ancient manuscripts. Let's try it. Damn! It's diluted the ink. Now it's illegible. Right. It's not my lucky day.
Bon bah c'est mort. C'est pas grave. Écoute, on aura essayé. No regrets. Je pense que c'est lui qui va peut-être essayer de tuer mon père. Il y a forcément un des deux qui... Enfin, il y a forcément quelqu'un qui va essayer de tuer mon père, ça c'est sûr. C'est bien parce que j'ai passé tout le jeu à essayer de retrouver ma mère et là maintenant il faut que je protège mon père probablement. Je vois pas intérêt d'entrer dans cette chambre. Là non plus, je pense qu'on va pas aller. La chambre de Washington, ça ne sert à rien. Encore une fois, je pense que je rush un peu. Probablement que je loupe des trucs, mais bon, écoutez. Maintenant qu'on y est, on y est. Eh mais il avait une vision aussi, lui. Il s'est né du nez.
Ah, well. Louis, what brings you back to my chambers?
May I sit down?
Of course, Louis. Don't you feel good?
Yes, but if I'm gonna pass inside you, I'd better sit myself down first.
It's nothing, don't worry about it.
Well, what can I do for you?
Right. Now I need to concentrate.
I wanted to speak to you, Your Eminence.
Il est où?
I wanted to thank you for your help. I mean, for your time talking to me about the Holy Lance.
Oh, and did you find it? It's the crusade of a lifetime for some people, Louis. You are searching for another holy grail.
You're nearly there. Link into his thoughts.
Does it annoy you at all?
But what on earth is he trying to get at? Why do you ask, Louis? I don't follow.
For the glory, Your Eminence.
I can feel it coming. It's working.
insolence. Why, really? I am a man of the church, Louis. May God keep me from such ambitions.
Right. Let me in, Your Eminence.
Why?
I've done it. I've done it, damn it. He was right. This is just crazy. I can't believe it. Look at yourself, Louis. You better not get caught. Whoa. I still need to get used to this body. So, let's see about what Mortimer asked me. Right. Well, it's time I got started. Let's see what I can find here to help me write that letter. I have no means to validate my forgery, so I better take my time with it and not make any mistakes. There are 2 letters from the Pope on the desk. I should be able to get a clue or 2 by checking how well they correspond to each other. And here are 3 stamps. All are different. Right. Well, let's start writing. Lord Mortimer asked me to discredit Sir Gregory and to announce Piaggi's final vote in his favor. As an introduction, Your Holiness, thank you for your trust. It turns out, now that I'm here, that I find Lord Mortimer's projects grant us many more advantages in comparison to what Sir Gregory had suggested. We are talking about the future of the Holy See. There. That should be enough to justify the change of vote.
Comment savoir lequel est le bon? Attendez. Pour celui figurant ma devise. Figurant ma devise. What the...
In one of the letters, the Pope asked Piaggi to change and to stop using his personal stamp. He asked him to use the one with the Pope's motto on it. And I remember that. Flore in domo domini. Must be in Latin. Piaggi once gave me a sealed letter. It had the same seal on it. I remember now. Giustizia, misericordia e umiltà. Boy, I gotta brush up my foreign languages. I think it's in Italian. Justice, mercy, and humility. This seal is different to the one Piaggi used for the letter he gave me. Yes, I'm certain of it. On it is written, Flore in domo domini.
C'est celui-là.
Latin, it blooms in the house of God. There's a kind of code composed of 6 letters that they always write under the dates of their correspondence. According to Mortimer, it's got something to do with Piaggi's tattoo. I guess I'll have to write one for today's date. Now, ideally, it'd be better to do without it, but I'm going to need to be extremely clever here. Today, the date is 24/01/1793. And the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the number shown in the middle. Some figures are the same in both codes, yet they correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code.
Huh?
Today the date is 24/01/1793.
What the fuck? Je l'ai pas. Une nouvelle fois, là, je l'ai pas le truc. Je l'ai absolument pas. Non, je l'ai pas. Ça me coûterait 10. Ouais, on a foutre. On passe.
I could pretend that the code got erased during the voyage, as if the letter arrived in really bad condition. That would be perfectly understandable given that it's traveled across the seas, right?
Your Eminence, all ready to send... What's he doing here?
Damn it! That's all I need.
Don't worry, he can't hear us.
What do you mean he can't hear us? What's going on here? The old goat is going to drop us. It's a lousy turncoat. Well, he'd better not tell me he just fell asleep.
Just calm down, calm down. Louis came to see me because he claimed he was hearing voices. We've just finished an exorcism session.
An exorcism? Are you having me on? I can't see any exorcism instruments.
That's because I've just put them away.
I don't know what you're up to, Piaggi. But I do know you're trying to pull one over on me.
I was about to fetch someone to take care of him. Would you care to go?
There he is. And there he stays. It's a perfect opportunity.
What do you mean?
It's been a while now that I've been hoping for a chance to get rid of him. Can you keep a secret?
Of course, my son. Would you like to tell me under the confidentiality of confession?
Ah, don't talk rubbish. I don't trust the little runt because he is Mortimer's son. Would you believe it?
How does he know?
Dear God, how is that possible? I am flabbergasted.
We've wasted enough time. What if he wakes up? If you don't want to get your hands dirty, just turn away and leave everything to me.
This is not a decision to be taken lightly.
You're defending him now.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
He's made you change sides, hasn't he? The slime bag. He works for Mortimer. Good thing I already tried to warn Gregory.
You find Louis unconscious and conclude that I'm his accomplice?
It's not so much finding him here as you being against me getting rid of him. That's not what you thought the day before yesterday, after he eavesdropped on our conversation. Listen carefully, Piaggi. If you say anything, you'll be the one they find dead in your bed. Huh? Now, just turn around and let me handle this.
Don't touch him! Out of my room!
I don't know what the two of you are up to, but I'll find out sooner or later.
Right. Time for me to get back into my body. Right. Don't just stand there, Louis. Mortimer's waiting for you in the red salon.
Ah bon? Bon, j'ai plus rien du coup. Je suis vraiment à poil là. J'ai plus d'efforts, j'ai plus rien. Je suis à poil complet. On va retourner voir notre sœur. Non. Est-ce que c'est vraiment notre sœur, ça dit? Je pense pas. Honnêtement, je pense pas. Je pense qu'elle est un peu désorientée. Je sais pas comment j'aurais pu réussir, cela dit, cette confrontation entre... Merde, c'est pas le salon rouge, je suis con. Ouais, je sais pas comment j'aurais pu réussir cette confrontation là. Parce que, en gros, il faut que je lui dise quoi? Parce que quoi qu'il fasse, il s'énervait en fait. À part si j'avais des capacités, je pense. Mais bon, j'ai plus rien, donc j'ai tout utilisé pour utiliser le subterfuge et surtout passer l'énigme. Puisque cette énigme, je l'aurais pas compris. Là, en fait, encore une fois, j'avais pas du tout la patience. Je cherchais même pas, pour être tout à fait honnête. J'ai cherché vite fait, vraiment vite fait. J'ai abandonné. C'est pas la salle rouge. La salle à manger. Si, c'est ça.
Am I disturbing you?
Monsieur de Richet, it seems you are everywhere.
At least he hasn't noticed my arm.
Was Mr. von Wollner able to help you?
Help me?
Yes. For your armillary sphere.
Oh, yes, that.
Louis, everything all right?
Yes. Excuse me, I was miles away.
Oh, while you're here, you wouldn't know who the last guest is, would you?
What do you mean?
I heard Sir Gregory speaking about it. A certain Al-Asif, something or other.
Who? What?
Obviously not. It's not important, forget it.
No, hang on.
It doesn't matter, I'm telling you. We'll find out soon enough. I'm in a hurry right now. I'm waiting for someone. See you later, Louis. Do you know who it is?
No, I thought so for a minute, but the name means nothing to me. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. Something tells me we shall find out soon enough, no?
Certainly. Is Al-Azif to participate in the conference?
That's what I was asking you. As von Wollner mentioned the arrival of this person just before the second conference.
Well, I must be leaving you.
Pourquoi le fait de lire les pensées a foiré?
So, Louis, what was your first time like? Bewildering, isn't it?
Here's your letter. I have to admit that the experience was utterly amazing.
Come, tell me more.
Not much else to say, other than I've already developed a taste for it.
Delighted to hear it. Bear in mind that you will discover many new things by going from body to body.
Is it possible to go from one body to another several times?
With practice, yes. Some of us have become masters in the art of bouncing from one body to another, to the extent that they can't be found. But you did it. Gregory, what can I do for you?
I've just come to make sure dear Louis has all the information he needs.
Needs for what?
You are free to make your own choices, William. I would like the same for him, too.
There's nothing I want more, Gregory.
Your schemes will lead to your demise, brother. Don't involve Louis. He has nothing to do with all this. The end of the conference approaches, and this masquerade will soon be torn asunder. Don't drag him down with you in your disgrace.
Oh, ye of little faith.
On the contrary, brother, Louis has just entered the family. Give him a chance to find his place.
His place?
What place is that?
At the end of a leash, like all the others.
Don't listen to him. He's angry with our father.
And with good reason. He governs us in the same way he governs humanity. Through fear and submission.
Same old tune. When will you understand that it's necessary to impose order for things to move forward properly?
You are under his thumb and proud of it. Open your eyes, for crying out loud. His whole system has become outdated, and he's too old to see it. He will lead us to our demise.
Here he goes with another of his grand speeches. William has always been fond of staging big scenes. It's his theatrical side.
How dare you? You are blind, brother. Even if the evidence bit you on the nose, you still wouldn't see it. I feel sorry for you.
Tea is drunk hot or not at all, William? When will you learn? It's too bitter. You shouldn't let it brew so long.
I knew you'd be coming along. You are so predictable.
Methodical, I would say. Things must be accomplished in the right order if we want the world to keep turning as it does.
When you speak of the right order, I can't help hearing your order.
Louis, wouldn't you think that by now we've acquired a certain experience? Don't you think that we are the best place to know what the right order should be by now?
I mostly understand that even with the best of intentions, this kind of talk could well be misinterpreted. Every powerful man has had to speak in this way at some stage. That doesn't mean that they were right or that they achieved great things. Take the kings of France, for example. They weren't all good monarchs.
You see, Louis, Gregory came here to make you change your mind. It's time for things to change. I acknowledge Father has done many good things for humanity, but his time is over. And now he must pass on the torch.
That's enough. There, Louis. That's the pathetic example your father has to offer. I really am sorry about what happened to you. You don't know our family yet. We can't have given you a very good impression, but bear in mind that we are all against William's project.
On the contrary.
If he insists on going through with it, we will have no other choice than to intervene by force. Consequently, my dear Louis, you're going to have to choose sides. I would much rather have met you in different circumstances.
There you are, Louis. See what happens when you don't follow their orders to the letter.
Louis, I'm afraid the time to decide is now.
On a vu le thé était empoisonné.
If you follow William, he will drag you down with him. If, on the other hand, you support me, I can assure you that nothing will happen to you. You won't be blamed for your father's errors.
Ah, the masks are off. I offer you liberty. He obliges you to choose, and shamelessly asks you to betray your own father. That is their true face.
Right. Before I answer, well, I'd better think it over very carefully. Do I intend to embrace my demon nature and take my place on the chessboard? Do I stay out of it and do my utmost to stop them? Or do I renounce my nature and do all I can to stay human? It's useless trying to resist my true nature. I'm a demon. May as well accept it. The sooner the better. Even if I continue to live as a human, all my friends and acquaintances will inevitably end up dying. And I'll be left on my own, forever. I am a demon and I have to behave like one. The sooner, the better.
So? What do you choose, Louis?
I shall follow my father, Sir Gregory.
Very well. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Please, don't take offense, but I just can't turn my back on him.
It's time we finished what we started, brother. The final vote of the conference over the acquisition of Louisiana will take place in a few hours. I propose you gather your troops and prepare to close the debate.
That's precisely what I was going to suggest.
Come, follow me. It's time for us to get ready.
Il y a des, ouais, le jeu est... On sent que c'est la fin, qu'il y a des loupés au niveau de certains trucs. Ça doit être rushé, je pense, cette partie du jeu.
Do you really think we have a chance of winning?
A chance? You don't know me very well, Louis. We are going to win.
But it only takes one person to vote against us, and we'll have lost.
That's true. That's why none of them will. Why? Because I have an asset that they do not.
Which is?
You. My friends, prepare yourselves. The conference is about to...
Il va falloir que je les manipule tous.
Time has come to lay down all our cards.
Je pense que c'est ça. Non, j'ai rien loupé. restera juste la science. Ok. Épisode 4 terminé. Donc on va désormais se diriger vers l'épisode 5. Ouais, en gros, je pense qu'il me reste... Allez, je dirais qu'il me reste 2-3 épisodes. 2 épisodes, grand max après celui-là. Grand max. Donc la série s'arrêtera aux alentours du 11 ou 12.
From now on, whenever a human speaks to you, you will be able to read their current thoughts.
You take care of getting the lands. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
She has to pay for all the harm she's done to me.
Meanwhile, let us remain on our guard against any last-minute surprises. I know my brother well. Never prepares for war if he has no chance of winning.
Finding out that I'm a demon makes no difference.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
If I'm asking you all these things, it's for your own good, you know.
You are keeping up the good work, I see. But I'm telling you, keep your guard up. Everyone is rather on edge right now.
Don't make me your competition, de Richet. You are no match.
Et d'où, Godoy?
Trust yourselves. It's all already in there.
Une opportunité, non? Ok.
Dear friends, I'd like to thank you for your continued trust and confidence. I admit that during these past few days, there has been much upheaval. I understand you have all been affected by this. Nevertheless, the world doesn't stop turning, and we are in fact on the verge of reshaping the modern world.
That is what we are all here for, my lord.
Thank you for your enthusiasm, Monsieur Bonaparte. Now you all know what we have to do. I cannot warn you strongly enough. If one of Sir Gregory's guests asks to speak with you, remain on your guard. It is highly likely that he will try to rally as many supporters to his cause as he can.
Don't worry, William. We are all here to support your project through to its conclusion.
Thank you, George. Now, please, go and get some rest before the conference begins, which won't be long now. Louis, stay with me a moment, won't you? I'll be needing your services in a certain matter.
Yes, of course. What's the matter?
Louis, you are the only one here who I totally trust. It is very likely that Gregory will take possession of some of the members of our team. I shall keep them in check over the next few hours. However, I'll need you to... how can I say this? To persuade the members of Gregory's group.
What do you mean by that exactly?
You'll have free rein, my son. Persuade all of them. Use every possible means imaginable. But no physical violence. Let's be very, very clear about that. You must bring them all over to our side. One after the other.
And what if I fail?
I have faith in you, my son. Great faith. That notwithstanding, should any of them resist, we'll decide what to do afterwards. Now go, and come back and see me once you've finished.
I'll be off then.
Ça va être compliqué, je vois pas comment je peux les... Je vois pas comment je peux les convaincre, vraiment. Godoy, on l'a déjà persuadé, il était avec nous. Non? Bon, écoutez, avant de commencer, on va s'arrêter là pour cet épisode. Il nous reste, ouais, je dirais 2 épisodes grand max. En gros, le prochain va nous amener jusqu'au colloque, je pense jusqu'au vote, qui nous fera, je pense, apparaître le dernier personnage à l'Asif, donc le père, probablement. Et c'est à ce moment-là que le jeu va se décider, j'imagine. Donc écoutez, je pense qu'il nous reste vraiment 2 épisodes dans cette série. Et on pourra conclure cette saga, si je puis dire. Qui m'a vraiment... C'est vraiment une aventure d'anti, c'est-à-dire que vraiment j'ai eu du mal avec l'épisode 3, le début de l'épisode 4, mais là je trouve vraiment que le jeu est bien meilleur. bien meilleur, ouais. Juste, il y a quelques petits trucs qui me dérangent. Genre, par exemple, la confrontation avec Volner, je comprends pas comment j'aurais pu vraiment la réussir. J'ai l'impression que des fois, il y a des choix que vous pouvez pas gagner. Je pense par exemple à la main. Est-ce qu'il y avait vraiment moyen de se sauver la main ou est-ce que ça fait partie de l'histoire? Le fait que les persos s'en foutent au final. Ce genre de choses, voilà. C'est quelques petites choses qui me chafouinent, mais rien de bien méchant pour le moment. Voilà. Je trouve que vraiment le jeu s'est redressé et j'espère qu'il va avoir une fin digne des premières heures. Allez, c'est tout pour cet épisode. Merci de l'avoir regardé. Portez-vous bien et je vous retrouve quand vous le souhaitez pour un nouvel épisode sur The Council. A bientôt.